Okay, just a little video. Just started connecting up the engine. Just go round it in order of what I've connected, just so it makes it a bit more. So there's that pipe at the back, which I believe is a heater pipe, which has this little rubber, like a vacuum on. That goes to the driver's side head onto that pipe there. I'll try and touch it with my. Yeah, so that pipe there, where you can see the Jubilee clip. So connected that up. I think this cable here, which you can see running down in the middle of the picture, sort of running around. Not sure which one's which, to be fair. I think let's have a look. That's the top one. Yeah, I think that's possibly the accelerator cable. That's the one with a little ball socket and those two screws. And I just took them two screws out and the bracket comes off with the cable. Then there's the one from the back, which I imagine is to do with the kick down or the gears. I'm assuming so. That's not the one that's you can sort of see there, sort of dead in front of the light there. That's sort of the lower part of the bracket. And there's one that comes from this side, that cable there, which goes round. I'll try and see. Let's have a look so I can get a better picture for you. Yeah, so you can see the three cables. It's the one sort of, the top one is the one that comes from the driver's side. It may be accelerator because it's driver's side. And the square one, with you sort of see the square one that pushes through the bracket, that's actually comes from the passenger side. And then the other one, the top one, comes from the gearbox. When you're putting it back in, I left these two off. Much easier. I didn't do that when I took it out. I tried undoing all the cables with them on. It was a right pain. So yeah, so I left them two off, done all the cables up. Next thing I undid, what to reconnect is that power steering pipe there. So that just goes, I left that connected to the other end of the pump. I just took the pump off with it, so that's just like a union there. Well, working my way around, then this water pipe I'm tapping with a light here, which goes all the way through. I'm trying to remember which one that is. There's so many little bloody pipes going all over the place. Yeah, that's the one that goes sort of there where that Jubilee clip is. I think that's, somebody else has messaged me and said it's the idle air regulator, warm-up regulator sort of affair. So that one goes to there. You can sort of see it there. It goes to that T-piece, and the other end of that pipe goes to the top of the rad. So it's like a bleed, like a return to the sort of bottle, probably to let the air out when you run it up. What else have I connected? This main water pipe here, which I left on, though, that one goes to the sort of bottom of the water bridge there. That's the pipe that was a bit dicky on the end. So what I did was, the U bracket that was holding onto the inner wing, I sort of took it out of there to pull it this way a bit more, so the pipe's a bit longer, so I can push it down the pipe and clip it a bit further down where it's better. Yeah, so then the power steering pipe, that looks a bit wet actually. I think it's just where stuff's dribbled down. I'll have to see what it does when it's running. I think it may have been leaking before, it may have been rubbed before, I don't know. Do look a bit damp there, but I'll have to check that when it's running. This reservoir, the fixings for that, you get to the, I don't know if it should be captives, but mine did. It had nuts on the other side on the inner wing, so I just tightened them up. And then the one I left on the bottom of the reservoir, which you can see with the new Jubilee clip, goes onto the power steering pump. Then the top oil pipe. The bottom pipe, let's see if I can show you this. It's worth bearing in mind if you ever taking one off. Yeah, so you could just sort of see it down there. The bottom pipe, I've sort of had that. Yeah, I took that off, not off the elbow bit where it goes onto the block, because I sort of tried to tighten up and the bit in the block was moving and I couldn't break it free from the sort of the beveled connection. So what I did was, there's a join on this just before the elbow. There's a join, and I undid the join, took it off, and then spun the elbow round, which I managed to get it off. What I didn't realise is the end of that pipe, you can sort of see it there, it's got a bit of an angle on it. Now when I've tried to put it in the rad, it don't want to go in. It's like it's too straight. It's like I'm trying to kink the pipe doing it. So I'm not sure whether that's because the rad's bigger or what, or whether I've just got to turn that pipe round. But you can't get to it from the top. I'm hoping I can spin it round a bit from the bottom, possibly. So the bottom water pipe is just on loosely. Top one's tightened up. Put this top one on as well. So done that one. Done the famous, I don't know if it's 8-pin or whatever, this silly connector. Put that on, and then that's the main live feed, which goes to that, and there's a little cap on so you can't touch it with your spanner. That ring connector there for the loom, I had that sort of lying flat, and then this was too tight. Obviously the wiring loom's all a bit stiff and hard, like they go. So I believe that should be sticking up like that, not lying closer to the block. So I did that. As you can see, my creative repair on the green wire connector, someone's had a right go. That was just taped together. There's nothing wrong with the connections, I don't think, and like I say, it ran and everything. But there's obviously 2 wires in that green wire, which you could probably buy a new green wire, but I'm not sure about this end. And I didn't want to disturb it really, so the connectors look okay. So what I've done, I've cable tied each side, and then put a cable tie, you see, in between the 2 cable ties to pull it tight. No way that can come undone now. It's I was just scared if I taped it, it could wiggle loose. You have a bad contact, so yeah, I've done that up. Working my way around a bit more. Then these 2 fuel pipes. I did put cable ties. You can see the one with cable ties to match up, so I couldn't mix them up. But I realise now you can't mix them up because they're opposite ways round. You couldn't put the wrong one on the wrong one. But that's a fuel pipe's done up. Trying to think what else I've connected up. Yeah, you can see that water pipe off the block there, that elbow. That's the one I think it goes to the heaters, and the return for the heaters, I believe, is this one, which goes all the way around the other side, as you can see, and comes round to that one at the front. So yeah, that's all sort of tightened up. I realise now this hole that I thought was here is obviously, I'm going to get a nicer bolt for this. I can't get one around. You wind that down and it pushes air cleaner down onto the ring rubber seal. I wondered why there was a hole there, but there was no bolt there on mine. So yeah, I've done that. I think I'm going to put, I've got a new air filter coming. I'm going to put the air filter on as well when I run it, just in case it makes a difference. But I just figure I don't want to suck a cloth in or something, you know. If I need to take it off to check stuff, I can do. It's not a problem. So yeah, most of everything at the top is done. I might actually do the fan with it on the floor. Might do the fan tomorrow, or when it's on the lift. I suppose I can do it on the lift. Might do the fan as well. But yeah, there's a big long air pipes to put on each side. One of them is split and taped up as they normally are, I suppose. I have found a second-hand one which I might buy, or I might see if I can trade the guy some of my leftover bits that I bought wrongly for this new camshaft tensioner and bits and bobs I've got, and bushes and stuff that I bought extra that I don't need. But yeah, so we're nearly not too bad connecting it up actually. Kind of as you start doing it, you remember how it all goes together. If you've missed out, you'll realise, but I'm pretty sure I've got everything. One thing that is a pain, what I did do is I undid the coil, so you can't see, but behind that loom, sort of there, is the top fixing for the coil. Why they would put the fixing behind the loom, I just don't know. The bottom one's not too bad, you can put that in by hand, but the top one, you've got to kind of push the loom out of the way. And what I did, I wedged a bolt in the socket, so and then like pushed it in and wiggled the loom about and managed to get it started. It's a right faff. Yeah, so they're the coil wires that I repaired last time. One thing I did notice, that the connection into the coil, these are okay, these are just like the sort of threaded push-on ones. The connection onto the coil was really corroded. I did notice the coil was corroded, and I did clean that up when I did the wires, but the actual HT lead was really green and corroded. So I've cleaned all that up as well. Put some power steering fluid in as well. Obviously you've got to bleed that a bit, and it just takes, people say various other things, but I'm pretty sure it just takes ATF, same as the gearbox, that's what I've put in it. But obviously you've got to run it a bit and then work the steering both ways. I'm not sure, I've got to read up on that. I'm not sure if you check it with it running. I know some cars you do. I wouldn't imagine you do on it. I don't know. If you check it when it's running, or there is a level. I can't see a level on it, but I've got to do a bit of research on that. So yeah, once I've done that oil pipe, then I can put the, I can't really put the, don't want to put that bottom hose on, because it's going to interfere with me doing the oil pipe. I can move that hose out of the way, it makes it easier to do the oil pipe when it's on the lift. Then I can put the oil in it, then I can put the water in it. Then I think we're down to sort of the bottom stuff, which is the starter motor, torque tube connector. I've got new bolts for the torque tube clamps, front and back. I did tighten the back one up. The front one I'm going to put a new bolt in, and same with the back one. Starter motor is ready to go on. The wires to connect onto the pressure and I think it's pressure and temperature gauge or whatever, oil light underneath. I couldn't connect them when it was sat on my little trolley, so I'm going to do them when it's up on the lift. And then I think we're down to, well, obviously got to do the fan. Then we're down to the exhaust. Well, we're not far off. I bought myself a new battery today. I'll just show you the battery I got. The battery was just under 100 quid. I have seen them on eBay for not much. So you see the amperage of it. That's the biggest one. Uasia's pretty good. They're like very similar to Bosch nowadays. But it's an 80 amp one. I think that was the biggest they could do in that size that fits the car. So yeah, I've got that to put on. It has got a battery that kind of I used to run it, but it's going to need a new one, so I may as well get a new one. One thing I did acquire off my friend, I don't know if I'm going to use it yet, is a right nice piece of stainless steel tube, which I might. I'll show you the size of it compared to the battery. Which I think would make two lovely tailpipe trims, or maybe just chop my tailpipes down and just put two of them next to each other sticking out the back. You know, just would make it look a bit meatier, make it look like it's got some performance exhaust that I can't afford yet. But it was just a little bit of stainless he had on his American truck, and I think, you know what, I'll utilise that for my own vehicle, see if it makes it a bit better. So yeah, that's about it. I have noticed on this, when I've been playing with it, the boot, you have to slam it, and then when you try and, you can pull it open. And I think it's down to the plastic sort of wedge on it. I've got to do a bit of research on that. It's worn away and it's not sharp enough, so it's not catching. So I shall have a go at that at a later stage. But yeah, just sort of give you a catch up of where we are with it. If you're enjoying the video, subscribe, give me some likes, gets me up the list and more people watching, whatever. Lots of people seem to be watching and enjoying it, so I'll keep doing it until you tell me no. Okay, see you next time.